Alright, so I got a new thing in the game. It's something you've never seen before in any game, and that's this. I think I had an old pause system a while ago. This one is actually like functional. The last one messed some stuff up when I used it. This one works a lot more easily and looks better when it's paused. And exit, of course. Progress since last save will be lost. I do think that those systems are important. I know that a lot of people forego saving in games now. Like, it's just like, it just save progress automatically, but I don't know, I don't like that personally. It makes it feel more important to get to the next save point, and also makes dying feel a little more. Now, there's going to be save points fairly regularly in the game, as to not like make you lose all progress if they. But it's also like, I don't. It gives people an opportunity to actually care, to not die. Because in a lot of games now, I just kind of feel underwhelmed with like how. Like, dying just doesn't really feel like it matters, so you just kind of don't care about it. You don't feel invested. And when you want your game to feel real, like, you want them to feel invested in the world, like, not caring if you die doesn't really make you feel attached to the main player. Is supposed to be very. Splash is like your friend, you know? He's a friendly little squid guy. If the player doesn't care about Splash, then that creates that really messes things up. Since the whole entire like lore of the game is that your like entire job is to help Splash, like that's the player's entire purpose of being here, is to lead Splash to help him with his journey. So it's like the player has the mentality of not caring about Splash because death is doesn't actually do anything then. So that's not really a lore thing. Like, obviously the death never actually happens in the lore. Or you could say, always just throw in like a time travel thing. I don't think I'm gonna do that. It's better to just say it's like, game mechanic, you don't know anything about it. But from a game mechanic way, having that makes the player feel more inclined to not just like run into danger, not to just like get yourself killed just because it doesn't matter. Makes you feel less like doing that and more like doing this and knocking them out first. So this is what the game over screen looks like right now. I think I already showed this off though. I've changed the deep terms a little bit. As you can see, it's a little bit different than it used to be. It's a lot more glowing in the background. There's a little bit of a weird effect happening with the with that. I'll have to figure out. I don't think it really is much of a big deal, but it seems to be like spawning a light right here, and then we walk up to it, it disappears. You'll also, that's another thing, you also notice bubbles everywhere. I really like. I made the bubble code way more efficient, like way more efficient, which means I can have a lot more of them without worrying about how it's gonna affect anything. And I might make it like a setting because it's just a thing in it. For some people, it might look a little distracting. I like the way it looks because it's just adds a little bit to the atmosphere, but. It doesn't actually, they don't actually do anything in the background levels. They're just there, so. Maybe I can make it so you can pop them. No. That one works. A lot of them are supposed to be in the background. As you can tell by the galaxy. I also changed the way that these work, these platforms. Now they're a lot less likely to mess up things. The collision's better on them. And they run faster. I mean, I might as well say what I did. It's kind of cheap. It used to just, like, the whole entire platform used to sink every time you jumped on it, but now it's just the sprite naturally draws a little bit higher than where the solid is, where, like, the collision is, and then when you land on it, the collision goes down instead of the actual object moving. That way, you don't have to actually calculate any, like you don't actually, like, for example, that Spunkaped up there, I don't have to actually calculate. Even though it like is a little bit noticeable, and players might be like, oh yeah, that's weird, but it's not that big a deal. I don't plan to have enemies on these that much, and it makes it run a lot faster, and also makes it so that I don't have to worry about stuff down the line, like problems down the line with it moving. Oh, I'm also working on a possible slider for, like, filter quality to hopefully make it playable on lower-end computers. I don't know if I'll actually ever get to the point where it is playable on low-end computers, because I don't have a lot of, like, I'm not good at optimization, and I don't really have the kind of time as it is. At the level of optimization I'm doing right now, it's still gonna take me, like, probably a good 8 or 9 years to finish the game, so I don't, if I try to, like, perfectly optimize everything, it would just get, like, that would become, like, that would be doubled. Because right now I only have 3 rooms done. And the first room, the one where you're entering Wormwave at, the first room is not even, it's also, I need to, like, modify some stuff, and it's not even that complicated. So it's not like a big room like the other two, and this one's also, like, medium size. Oh, you know what? I'll show that off too. I really probably should show it off at the beginning, but I'm actually working on a just to give a better scale of the project. I'll show you some of this just to show progress since last save. We lost, well, you know, and so you go, oh, progress was lost, so you're gonna walk up, like, say progress, yes, see, it's not that hard. And if you're not next to one, then, like, you know, you gotta actually get to one, you can't just, another reason for that mechanic is that people can't abuse the, anyway. Okay, so what I was going to show you was this, right here. I know, it looks crappy, but this is the current, like, demo for the, not demo, this is the current, like, idea for the map, the world map is, honestly, it might end up being bigger than this, but this is the coral area, this is Canarus Cove right here, Septimerx, the vents, the I forgot. I changed the name of them recently. It was originally rumbling vents, but I decided to like make more of them alliterate, so it's like vigorous vents or something like that. You can see the name on my music channel. I upload the current theme for that area. Deep drenches would be down here. I might be up here. I think down here it might be like almost pitch black. I don't know. I haven't decided. Deep drenches are either gonna be down here or up here. All I know is that up here there's gonna be the the angler bosses in here, and then down here is where you can get some like lore stuff, and it's not really. It's gonna be where some stuff about, I'm not gonna get into that right now. This is Mount Arpelago up here. It's like the final like optional challenge in the game. There's multiple optional challenges in the game. There's to the side over here. You can keep walking this way, and you'll go into a like a pit of 100 trials type thing where you keep going through rooms and killing, like not killing, knocking out enemies and stuff to pass into the next one. It's gonna be like that. And then when you get to the end, you'll get a prize and same. And I also think I might do it in every in like these corners as well. I don't know. Or maybe I'll have this area here because I haven't decided anything here. Maybe I'll have it so you start here and then you can go over here and get to this little area. But this is gonna be mostly platforming stuff. But then the occasional boss like fight that you know. And then the rest of this stuff is just like actual in-game locations with lore and stuff. This is where the shark tribe lives. This is where crabs. This is the canyons, Carapace Canyons. This is where the snails are. This is where the deep sea creatures live. Both these areas, and the vents is you have metal workers forging at vents, using the heat naturally to forge the stuff for the rest of the people and stuff in return for his stuff. And you'll have Duncan's originally from down here. He was originally a blacksmith, and I think that when you get him to convince him to come to Warmwave, he'll be a blacksmith there too. This is Leakage Lofts or whatever. I haven't completely committed to that name, but that's this is the what leaks the brine down into this area, and the brine is what the snails drink, even though it's bad for them because they're snails and they probably shouldn't be drinking extra salty water. This is it's kind of like the equivalent of alcohol in the game is brine. This is the kelp area, because obviously you can't have a sea game without a kelp area. This is where the mammals, the smaller mammals like dolphins and stuff. This is where Fiorello and Zinnia are from. Would be over here. Although I might end up having them actually be down here. Having Zinnia be from here and Fiorello be from the sharks and be like a indentured servant or something. Down here. Like, I know that Fiorello, it's already decided Fiorello's going to be in, like, a position of, like, he needs to get out of there, but I haven't decided whether it's going to be over with the dolphins or with the sharks. They've all got their problems and stuff. They're all, like, all corrupt and stuff. The sharks are, very, what was the, I forgot. But the sharks are, very, like, what's the word? Like, dictatorial, with, like, the leader being, like, super. And then the people over here are, like, kind of party and, like, like, I don't want to say sexual, there's not going to be sexualized in the game, but, just with that general vibe of objectification, stuff like that. Down here is going to be the snow area where it's where you're gonna have like walrus, the big king down here is a giant orca. I think it'll be an orca. It might end up being a. I haven't decided a lot of the lore for like the more later game areas and like the main story lore. I've pretty much figured out, like nailed down, and like a lot of the lore for like this area, and even though these areas are also later, these areas as well. But like these areas right here, I haven't really got much. Even this area a little bit, I haven't got much for. And here in the middle, I think this is where the well, I know that somewhere over here is gonna be where the main like the big town is with that the Zyron final boss lives, and his son as well, and you first meet the son like over here. The son is Nyman. I'm not getting. I don't need to get into that right now. The point is, this is how big I currently like with like have it. I might actually want to make it bigger, and then this is the one big room, and this is the room outside that. So this is how big, if you actually like think about it, like you have the little area right here, and then this, and then this, and so with the amount of time it took me to make this one room, I mean obviously I'm gonna be able to get faster at making the rooms, but I have to do that if I want it to be even this big, and like I said, I might want to make it bigger. I've got to do that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. I know that like most of this is gonna be full. There might be some like sections like like here that might just like not have any rooms or anything, but in general, there's gonna be rooms stretching all out all these areas. So that's gonna take a very long time. But once I get all the base systems like completely worked out, then that shouldn't take as long as it does right now, because I'm still figuring out a lot of some of the stuff. Some of the decisions for the game, but yeah. So that's the stuff like this is a lot of time why it's taking so long for me to work on games, because a lot of it's just like conceptualization stuff I'm working on that can't really show off, and I wasn't really wanting to show off this, but I decided I might as well. But yeah, so the idea is that this should hopefully be a pretty big game when I'm done with it. My goal is like to be like have it be about the same amount of playtime as Hollow Knight and Super Paper Mario, like somewhere in that range. Probably a little bit longer than Super Paper Mario, and a decent amount shorter than Hollow Knight. I don't know. This might actually, yeah. It's gonna be a lot more linear than Hollow Knight, but a lot less linear than Super Paper Mario. I keep saying it's basically my two like top games, and so the games has a lot of inspiration from those two games. I think that a lot. Yeah, I think gameplay wise, it's probably more similar to Super Paper Mario, but atmosphere wise, maybe it's closer to Hollow Knight, but dialogue wise, it's probably between the two, because it's not gonna be. It's going to have a lot of like more humorous stuff, but then also some more. Yeah, I don't know. And at this point, I'm just rambling about. Anyway, this is already 20 minutes long. Wow. I wonder how much of that time is just me rambling. Well, anyway, I should probably stop now. So, yeah.